Mr. Chris has said a lot of things on the podcast, but he really meant this.
I came across, not to bury the lead, but I came across in my reviews in the last week or so, like moves that have like 9 or 10 separate moves. And they're just like scattered. Some of them look like someone took a shotgun against a map. Hello, agents, scouts, trainers, keepers, pilots, hunters, eighth wallers, and our beloved explorers and wayfinders. Welcome to episode 224 of the Wayspotters podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you become a better wayfinder. Wayspotters is brought to you by the good people at the Pokemon Professor Network and our good friends at Pickaxe. Today is Wednesday, April the 29th, and with me, as always, is Jamal. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great. You know, I just remembered something when you did your intro. We're not going to be able to say keepers anymore. We're going to have to redo the whole intro.
Do you know what's funny about that is I was reading that intro and I was like, I need to Google when eighth wall shuts down because we need to remove that too.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about the keepers thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Peridot.
It's just scouts, trainers, hunters, and our beloved explorers and wayfinders. We're going to have to figure out something else catchy.
Yeah. That sucks. I mean, like, Peridot is staying around, but it's not staying around in a... I mean,
Right.
it never really had a... Yeah. Whatever. It's gone. See you later.
It's gone. Bye, Peridot.
Yeah. If you're watching the YouTube and you see me kind of glancing off in this direction, it's because I have the Canadiens game, the Montreal Canadiens score on my phone right here, so I'm kind of paying attention to that. I got my jersey on.
There you go. It's looking good, man. I
was showing Jamal earlier. This one's got all of the Stanley Cup winning years on the arms. This is the 100th anniversary logo or jersey that I bought a few years ago. So by the time you listen to this, I think this series might be done because they have Wednesday. I'm going to look this up real quick. I think they have tonight. And then I want to say they play Friday. Schedule. So today is what, the 29th? They played
Today's the 29th.
Friday. Yeah. So Sunday.
It could be over.
Night. So by the time you listen to this, Montreal could have won the series, or they could have lost. Or it could be tied and going to Game 7 on Sunday. We don't know.
Dude, Game 7 in hockey is the best thing ever. That's the best thing ever in hockey.
It is, but it's like I swear that like I would have lived to like 120. I'm probably going to die in my 70s now just because of all the Game 7s that I've had to watch. It's something.
That's funny.
It is something. Yep. But it is one of the greatest things in sports, watching a Game 7.
Yeah, it is.
So, then that, and my brain is fried. I've had lacrosse every single night this week except for tonight, and then we've got it tomorrow night, Friday night, and then I was supposed to help host the field games on Saturday, but we couldn't get the field, so we're doing it all Sunday. So I'm going to be out at the fields all day on Sunday too.
Jeez, your busy time of the year. Yeah,
it is. Crazy. It really is.
That's crazy.
So yeah. All right, let's jump into the news.
And now, the latest Niantic spatial and Scopely news from the Wayspotters podcast, presented by the Pokemon Professor Network.
Okay, the Pokemon GO team are adding PokéStops to AED locations in Japan. And we're going to talk about this in topic number 1, but a lot of people have some very mixed feelings about this.
Yeah.
And the announcement was translated from Japanese because this was posted on the Japanese Pokemon GO blog and nowhere else.
Right.
So they were just like, hey guys, here you go. Here's a bunch of stuff. And then Cindy posted it on the forums, and that's where I got it. So This is the translation that she posted us. Trainers starting May 1st, 2026, AED locations will appear as PokéStops within Pokemon GO. Celebrating its 10th anniversary this year, Pokemon Go has utilized smartphone location information to provide players with an experience of walking, discovering, and connecting with the community in the real world. To leverage this connection with the real world for socially meaningful initiatives, we have entered into a partnership with the Japan AED Foundation and will install PokéStops at some AED locations based on information from the AED map, AED Navi, operated by the Japan AED Foundation. The program will start at approximately 1,000 locations in Tokyo and will be gradually rolled out to approximately 13,000 AED locations nationwide by mid-July. Furthermore, to make AEDs feel more familiar, special photo discs featuring the healing Pokemon Pomot will be displayed at PokéStops that are set up based on AED installation information. Through Pokemon Go, try and find nearby AEDs so you can become aware of them and prepared for emergencies. Enjoy the game while searching for them in your local area. Blah, blah, blah. Please be mindful of your surroundings and don't walk into a pole.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that in topic number 1. That's the announcement. Some folks kind of feel like they slid it in behind Wayfarers' backs, but again, we'll get into it. One more quick thing before we pass along. Not really news, but a tip. There was a post on the forums made about a little free library that got rejected. And from what I can tell, it's on the street side of the sidewalk. So It's okay. I didn't look into it that much. But it was rejected, and it was partially or maybe fully rejected because they mentioned Wayspots in the description.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring it up. That we talk a lot, and we talk ad nauseum about not mentioning Pokemon or Ingress or any other game, but we don't ever say don't mention Wayspots. So this is us mentioning it. Don't mention Wayspots because it has nothing to do with the Wayspot itself. So just don't do it because you're gonna get yourself rejected. So
unless it's in the supplemental, but then we can get into that later.
Yeah.
But definitely not in the description.
Yeah, like we've talked about, just the same rules that we've given you about mentioning Pokemon in the description.
Yes,
apply to this. Just change the word Pokemon out with Wayspots, and then follow the same rules, and you'll be okay.
Yep.
All right, let's jump into topic number 1.
Get ready for topic number 1.
So I think I didn't have this in my notes, but I think I'm going to do this first. What is an AED? Because there are probably people out there who are listening or watching who don't know what an AED is. And I think that's partially why Niantic's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So
to raise awareness.
To raise awareness, yeah. So an AED is called an automated external defibrillator. It's a portable, easy-to-use medical device designed to treat sudden cardiac arrest. And these devices, if I've been first aid trained for years, so every time I go to get recertified, they go through using these machines. And honestly, it's like you open the box up and the voice tells you exactly what to do.
Exactly. I was going to say it pretty much does it on its own.
It's got the instructions on the thing, and it's to place the pads, and it's just like you can't mess it up. And you can't shock someone who doesn't need to be shocked because you're not the one delivering the shock. The AED is the one delivering the shock. Like it analyzes the heartbeat and the heart rate and all of that, and then it determines
decides
what type
whether
of shock.
or not it needs.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, if you think someone's having a heart attack, slap it on them. The worst the machine's going to go is no, they don't need it, and then you've at least taken the step to help someone, right? So that's what those are. So let's go through the pros and the cons of this whole, and I typed in the word experiment, but it sounds like it's the announcement says it's a partnership. So I think that this is kind of something that might not necessarily leave Japan, but it might. So pro number 1, players can learn about the AED program. Like I mentioned before, they're super easy to use. I guarantee you that you've seen one, and you probably didn't even know it. I guarantee that you've probably walked past dozens of them. There's 2 or 3 in every single arena that I go to. For lacrosse
for sure.
or whatever. They're in the malls. We had them installed at work. There's a couple at my new job.
We have 2 at work. We have one kind of in our lobby and then one in the shop.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got them. Like, there's one by my office. There's one by the front offices. There's one in the back corner. Because our warehouse is pretty big, right? So they're all over. But I guarantee you that you've seen one, and I guarantee you that I've had a conversation with a couple people about them, and they're just like, oh, I don't know what to do, and I would be really nervous. And it's just, you open it up, and you push you turn the button on, and it's like, place the pads.
It's self-explanatory.
Push this button.
Yeah, it's
analyzing.
self-explanatory.
And it's just, yeah. And then it yells at you, don't touch, because you have to take your hands off, right?
Get away, move back.
So maybe this is the intention from Niantic, according to their post. This is to get information out there, to tell people, hey, here's where they are. And maybe in an emergency, you're just, if you play Pokemon GO a lot, and you're just like, oh, this person looks like they're having a heart attack. I remember I spun that stop 20 minutes ago. I know where it is. Let me go get it. And then you know, maybe you save someone's life. And like another pro, and I think this is what most people are gonna care about, is more stops.
Yes.
Like,
more
we
stops.
posted this. Someone, I can't remember if it was you or me, one of us posted it in our podcast host chat, and that was the first thing Ked said. This is great, more stops.
More stops. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, a pro for me, Chris, is I remember what I've said. I said this last week. Well, God, this is crazy because this is not Wayfarer related. And I know we're going to get into it, which is why it was posted by the Pokemon team. And I'm going to push back a little bit that they tried to sneak it by Wayfarer. It's really got nothing to do with Wayfarer. But I really like local communities or even countries taking the map and making it their own. Japan is doing like lots of cool stuff with sponsorships. And then this, I like that. I think that builds a good community. And like I said, the map doesn't have to look the same everywhere in the world. And I think this is a great example of how a local area can make their map look the way they want it to look.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Pokemon's big in Japan. And
probably the biggest in the world is in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge over there, right? And there's a lot of stuff in Japan that just doesn't fly in other areas.
Yes.
Right? They've got Pokemon manhole covers that are all over there, and they're all in the game. And if you were to try that here, people would be like, no, it's unsafe. It's in the middle of the street. Whereas Japan, they're just like, no.
Yeah.
It's there. It's got a Pokemon on it. It's in the game.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of what you talk about all the time. That's that local nuance that you can get away with some things. And maybe get away is the wrong word. Culturally, the attitude towards certain things is different in certain countries, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And
don't try to nominate a post box in Toronto. It's not going to fly. You do it in Gloucester, it'll pass. If it's the right Regal. Anyhow, you know my point.
Yes, if it's the right Royal, yeah.
Right, Royal, not Regal. Yeah, Royal. Okay, sorry. Yes.
I honestly think that the more, getting back to my first point, I think the more information and the more awareness about things that could potentially save someone's life is better, right?
Yes.
Like, we have signs all over our warehouse pointing to where these AEDs are, right? And the ones in the arenas, the signs, some of them are almost as big as I am. It's just like, you cannot miss these things. And to the point where my kids have asked, like Jackson has asked a couple of times, what is that? And it's like, oh, that's that IED thing for heart attacks. And he's like, oh, okay. Doesn't get it, but I think if someone were to see, we were in an arena watching the lacrosse and someone's like, hey, this guy's having a heart attack, my kid would know where to go.
He's like, hey, go get that. I don't know what it is, but that's a heart attack stopper. Go get it.
Yeah. So I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing, but let's get into the cons, because there are some folks who aren't necessarily on board with this, and there's a couple of reasons. One, is it potentially dangerous? So you equated this when we were talking to fire stations, right? And blocking emergency services, and someone on the forums was like, hey, does this have the potential for a bunch of people standing around a Pokéstop blocking someone from getting to the AED? Right? And I was like, that's a fair point. Like, it's a fair thing
question.
that
Yeah.
Niantic would have had to have taken into account when they did this. I have had that argument with people regarding fire hydrants, because
I remember
it was still is a big thing. A lot of communities, a lot of cities, a lot of towns, whatever, will have, and they did it in Oshawa. They had their art community go out and paint all the fire hydrants. Like, some of them were Snoopy. There was a couple of minions once, because making a fire hydrant into a minion is so easy. It's just so easy, because you got
that's low hanging fruit. Yeah,
it's low hanging fruit, right?
Yeah.
So they're cool, and people nominated them, and the downtown Oshawa is just flooded with Pokestops and gyms that are fire hydrants. And for a long time, I hated them. And like, I got into heated discussions / arguments with people about whether or not they should be allowed in the game. And at the end of the day, I kind of gave up on that, because Niantic would go,
Right.
it's fine.
Well,
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Niantic will say that. And I would say this. If let's say you're just happen to be Wednesday at 6:00 your local time, and you're doing a raid, and it's at a fire hydrant, and you hear a big ass fire truck coming down the street, are you going to go, no, I got to finish this raid? Or are you going to back up and let them get to the fire hydrant? So in front of a fire station where you're blocking the truck who needs to get out right now, I see that. But if it's a fire hydrant and that truck's not going to stop, if you were there, it's going to run you over. Like, we all know that. I mean, it is. It's not going to go. It's like, this building's on fire. Right, something's going to happen. It's like, you either were taught at a young age, hear a siren, back the heck up, or get run over. And it's kind of like, what is that? The strongest survive, the weakest die. What's that? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There you go. So if you are going to finish a raid and not back up for a fire truck, I kind of don't have any sympathy for you. So that's why I personally... No, and I mean, and I don't mean to be flippant, but that's why I personally don't have a problem with a fire hydrant being a item in the game. Because if you don't move and you see this 2-ton, 3-ton, just big truck, red truck, sirens and lights blaring, and you stand there, that's on you, player. That's on you. So, I mean, and that might be harsh, but that's where I come down on it.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I was driving to work. I said this, it took me an extra 45 minutes to get to work on Monday, because there was 3 separate accidents on the highway, and each one of those accidents had 3 cars involved.
Ooh, jeez.
Every single accident was exactly the same thing. Someone slammed into the back of someone else, and then someone else slammed into the back of that person. And a couple of them were pretty bad. Like, the cars were pretty mangled. So,
jeez.
And like, I don't want, again, I don't, flippant is a good word. I don't want to be flippant, but like I said to my wife, Mike, if I had left 15 minutes earlier, I would have been on the other side of it, because all 3 of them happened like right before I got there, to the point where one of them, the fire truck was still on its way.
Oh, geez.
And it was going down the highway.
Yeah.
And it was going down the highway, and it's like, it's bumper to bumper. But like, with the fire truck, it's big, it's red, and it's loud, and people managed to find a way to get out of the way. Right? Like, you think of bumper to bumper traffic, no one's moving, but that fire truck gets in there, people move.
Oh yeah. People know that if it's going 30 miles an hour, right? I don't know what that is in kilometers. Whatever. What is 30 miles an hour in kilometers? Anyhow, it's going 30, and 30 is not really fast. 50. But when you're a fire truck, it takes a full city block to stop from going 50 kilometers, 30 miles an hour. So everybody who's driving has an idea of motion, and they say, "Oh, that thing is really big. I should move because it's not going to stop because it's going to like nudge me out of the way." So, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't mean to be flippant because I don't want anyone to get hurt and I don't want to prevent anyone from getting help. But some of that is like, Darwin is looking down going, if you get taken out on this, and then we didn't need you. And again, I don't mean to be flippant, but it's one of those things, you know. It's the reason why Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon man didn't make it and Homo sapiens did. We were just better.
We learned to get out of the way of things. And like my not to get too off topic, but my grandfather used to send me the Darwin Awards every year. And for those of you who don't know, Google it. I'm not going to get into it, but some of them are just like it's sad, but it's hilarious. Right. The way that people manage to themselves.
Yes. Neanderthal's like, "Ooh, can I pet your doggy?" And Homo sapien is like, "That's a mammoth. I'm gonna go this way." Cro-Magnon man tried to pet the doggy, and like Cro-Magnon man's not here anymore. So it is what it is.
Saber-toothed tiger got a nice meal. The other con that came up, and I'll share the link to the forum post in our show notes. You can go and read it yourself. The other one was the classic thing that everybody talks about when we talk about Niantic doing stuff that isn't necessarily within criteria is, will this influence other people? Are we going to start to see AED locations in North America show up because now they're on the map in Japan? I think because this is a program in Japan and they've put it out there, and I think, not to be again flippant, but the people in Japan are probably more in touch with Pogo news than anywhere else. Yeah, chances are they're going to see this. Maybe it gets isolated to Japan and it doesn't kind of creep its way into other areas, but people get worried. My strong take on this is, shame on the person who brought it to the forum in English, because clearly it was meant for Japan eyes and ears only, and it was none of our concern. I'm just going to be flat out. It was none of our concern. It was shared in Japanese on a Japanese site. Nowhere in that message did it say this was eligible for Wayfarer, coming to the United States, coming to Britain. So once it got shared here, it's like we're fighting over something that we have. It's not going to affect any of us unless we go over there. So if someone is nominating AEDs in the U.S., then they're sticking their nose in a place that they shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, that's
opinion.
Fair.
Blame Jamal's opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm actually trying to find the post right now, and I can't find it. Like, I almost wonder if it got taken down.
I think I can find it. Hold on.
Interesting. Because the whole... No, I found it.
Okay. I was going to say... Now. Yeah. I don't think anybody's
the whole point of the post...
last time.
Yeah. It's been a while. The whole point of the post, the title of the post is PSA, AED devices did not suddenly become eligible Wayspots. Right? So, and you bring up a good point. Like, would this have actually reached North America or any other country other than Japan had this post not come up? And it didn't get a lot of attention. Like, it didn't get a lot of views and a lot of comments.
These things bother me. This is one of those, hey, teacher, you would never know this, but little Johnny is doing something way over there that's not bothering anybody, but can you come look, teacher? And it's like, come on, man. We're supposed to be adults. Japan, this has no bearing on anybody in the world other than Japan. So, I don't know. I started off on one side of this, and I've gradually come over to this side after looking at your notes. And it would be different if this was put out by the Wayfarer team in Japanese, but this was put out by the Pogo team in Japanese. And we know the Pogo team does not take Wayfarer into account when they do things they do what the hell they want to do. So the fact that it's even on the Wayfarer forums, I don't know if it's appropriate, because it's just going to sow discontent that doesn't need to be sowed. There's plenty of other toxic stuff going on. We don't need to introduce something else. Again, blame Jamal's hot take.
That's fair. I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think that this will be an issue. I think that people are smart enough, and we kind of have this conversation every time they do this with the bus stops and this.
Yeah.
I think that the overall Wayfarer community at this point is smart enough to realize that they're not eligible.
Right.
Straight up, right?
And there'll be a few
doing this
people
sponsorship in Japan.
Yeah, there'll be a few people that don't follow that'll go, oh, I saw this, but I mean, tell me you're a spoofer without telling me you're a spoofer, that you saw a bunch of Japanese AEDs and now you're trying to nominate them in your local area because you didn't go to Japan. Don't lie to me. So, I don't know, man.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and it's interesting because when they did the bus stops and the street corners, Tintino made a post, right?
Yes.
Like whether it was maybe it's because they did it in the US, right? Or maybe they thought that they might have a chance to kind of spread, but with this, there's nothing. Like the post came from Cindy, and like it wasn't a Wayfarer. Nobody from the Wayfarer team has commented on it.
Right.
You got 140 views, and it's kind of buried on like the 4th page of the forums by now. Like I had to dig
Which
to
is
find
precisely how I think Wayfarer wants it.
Oh, for sure.
If I'm
100%,
being honest,
right?
yeah.
Yep. I would imagine that the Pogo team probably, I would hope, at least gives them a heads up and be like, hey, we're adding a bunch of stuff to our map. They might not. Like the Pogo team might be like, well, it doesn't concern you. Why the F would I talk to you about it, right? It's like a surgeon talking about his surgery to the to the gas guy. Like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's wanted to know gas stuff. He doesn't care what you. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yes.
Right? Sure, it's the same body, but like they're doing 2 different jobs. Like they don't.
Correct.
One doesn't care about the other. I mean, they do, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just don't. It's fine. Like I put all this stuff in the notes, and I'm just like, I don't think that it matters. You know?
But the stuff that you put in the notes, though, it's good because I think this is going to bring back the argument of, is the bus stop experiment dead? I was having a conversation with who was I having a conversation with? Aquablast 64. And he posted something on the forums and said, you know, what's going on with this test? And I messaged him on the side. I'm like, bro, that test was a one-time deal. That they said the word test, and those of us in the business think of a test as something that's ongoing, and they're going to get data and they're going to analyze it and A/B it. I'm like, that was a plop on the map. That was not a test. Again, my hot take. I don't think they're going to do anything else with that. But you know, you said in the notes, will the AED experiment move to other countries? That's an interesting question, Chris, because I think Japan has a different connection with the AEDs and other countries might, just given by the way they wrote it up, and they're trying to draw awareness to it. So I don't know that that specific circumstance is relevant in another country. This might just be a Japanese thing, which is fine. You know, I don't know that Starbucks are sponsored in Honduras. So it's kind of the same thing. So I don't know, but I think they're good questions. Your other question was, what other non-eligible mass-produced points of interest could they use? I think that could be a whole show, Chris. I think you could do a whole show on that. We could come up with ideas because I'd never even thought of AEDs being something they could use. There's so many things in all the countries that are mass-produced items that are unique to that country that they could do. I mean, just look at McDonald's is something that like is not eligible by any criteria, but it's a sponsored item and money talks. So we could do a whole show on that. I mean, on what other things it can be that. So I think the argument is fair. You know, when you say, is this Niantic's way of getting around loosening the criteria? I mean, I'm bringing you around to the dark side. I'm bringing
I put that
slowly
in for you.
but surely. Yeah.
One
episode at a time. Yeah, one episode at a time. I'm bringing you around to the dark side. So, I mean, the answer to that could be yes. I would say that's going way over here, loosening the criteria. There's a few things in the middle I'd like to see. But yeah, I'm bringing you around, and it makes me feel good. Makes me feel good.
It's interesting. So let's get back to the AED thing real quick, because so I just googled it. There's a AED registry, so it's worldwide AEDs.
Okay.
So like if they wanted to, like if this goes well in Japan, Niantic could very well say, hey, we're gonna partner with the AED registry and do this in England and Canada and the US. And there's actually a few. Like if you Google AED maps, there's a bunch. There's like a German one, I think. It's okay. This one's basically mostly Europe, so it's got a bunch in the UK, France, Switzerland, Germany. Like they could, like if this goes well and they treat it like an experiment. Like right now, it's a partnership, but I can't imagine that Niantic or Scopely would go, if this goes well and it's a hit in Japan, why wouldn't they? Right?
Right. Yeah,
And
for sure.
People have said, like, why would they start with Japan, right? And I think culturally, because Pogo and Pokemon is so ingrained in their culture, that this is a good litmus test for how people will react around this. Because if it comes out and there's news stories in Japan about somebody needing an AED and there being 75 people standing around a Pokestop, they're going to pull it. They're going to put it over real quick. Right? And maybe, I don't know this for sure, but maybe Japan is less litigious than the US, and the possibility of a lawsuit is, I could be wrong. Like I could be way off base here. So if I am way off base here, please tell me. Like I said last week, at me, because I don't care. But maybe that came into why they started this in Japan, right? But some people were just like, but Japan has 8 million Pokestops. Why? Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? Right? It's Niantic's map. It's not the Wayfarer map. It's Niantic's map. They're just, it's the Pogo map. The Pogo team does what it wants.
Yep. Sure does.
And like when they had 75 different phone carriers in the US to sponsored, and you could trip over gyms for Sprint and Boost and whatever it was.
Sure could.
But like, I don't know that this will, and go back to your last point, or my last point with the notes, around loosening criteria. I don't think that that's the route that they're going to go with this, because it doesn't help wayfinders. Like, sure, it helps get stuff on the map, but like it could help rural people, because rural communities sometimes have arenas and there's an AED in them, right? There's probably an AED in the corner shop. They're all over.
Right.
But it doesn't help wayfinders. At the end of the day, it doesn't help wayfinders. So
exactly.
I don't think we'll ever see Niantic. I really, really don't think they'll ever try that basketball court on K-12 ground experiment again. Like, I really don't think that they'll ever go, hey guys, remember how we told you this stuff was not eligible? Well, now under certain circumstances, it is eligible now.
Right.
That experiment was an epic failure, and I don't think that they will ever do that again. So
agree.
It'll be interesting to see how this goes. They'll go live on, when did they go live? They go live on Friday, and we'll see just how quickly they get through this. So they said by the end of July, so they got what? May, June, 3 months to get 13,000 online. It'd be interesting.
It'll be interesting to see. Sometimes being an agent of chaos, I kind of hope people complain about it, and then we can point out how silly they are. But anyhow, it is what it is.
Yeah. I honestly think this is probably the last we'll ever hear about it. I do.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I think that'll be it. All right, let's jump into topic number 2 real quick.
This is Sarah Amanda. Don't forget about topic number 2.
Recently, now that I've gotten back into doing my reviews again, I've seen an influx in signs that are basic generic infrastructure. And I kind of wanted to go through some examples real quick, just as a way to get the word out there and say, hey, people might not know. So let me pull up a couple of examples. And the general rule of thumb with these is these ones I see a lot.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but yeah.
No, these ones I see a lot. It's that green, and like it's funny because you see these a lot because like you see these in Canada, you see these in the US. This is like a North American centric sign, so they are literally mass produced everywhere. It's that green sign with the white bike on it that says route, and it's a generic bike route sign. And I saw 7 of these in my reviews in the last 2 days.
That's hilarious.
Yes, it's part of a bike route, but it's a generic infrastructure sign, and these aren't eligible.
Yes, right.
Another one, and this one bothers me. I don't know why this one bothers me so much, but signs like this, signs this says library. It's a green sign. Here's a rule: if the background of the sign is green like that,
and the writing's in white,
writing is in white, and it's a metal sign on a metal pole, it's not eligible.
Yes,
I'm sorry, it's not
fair.
It says
fair.
Library, and then it's got an arrow, right? So it's like the library is that way. So here's the way you got to think of this. That sign in and of itself is not a great place to socialize. It's a sign.
Right.
It's not a great place to exercise. It's a sign.
Right.
And it's not a great place to explore because it's a sign. Now, this was pointing to the Toronto Public Library, and it's a Wayspot. And a library is a great place to explore, and it is a great place to be social quietly.
Yes.
But libraries are eligible. Signs that point towards points of interest that are eligible, generally not eligible. Right? Like,
that's when you get into the sign farer argument.
Yeah.
Which I'm probably on the wrong side of it when it comes to certain things, but we won't get into that now.
Probably. And like they're all over here. They're like, hey, this monument is in that direction, or this church is in that direction. And I see dozens of them on my way home from work because I kind of drive. I don't take the highway home. I take the back roads home because it saves me like 45 minutes. They're everywhere. They're just like, this antique, really old church is down here, and it's 1 kilometer, and then 2 kilometers there's this monument. Yeah. Those are signs that point towards things that are great Wayspots, and they are not in and of themselves eligible.
It's pointing towards a good place to gather, but that sign itself is not a good place to gather. I get it.
Yeah. So
you might actually have just changed my mind about some things. So yeah, okay.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. See, this is what happens with a little back and forth.
Yeah. No, now that you said it that way, I can't. You're not wrong. You were not wrong at all. Like, I can't refute what you just said. Like, you were 100% not wrong.
Now, I've seen there are certain exceptions to this. Like, there's a couple of towns north of us, like little, my wife calls them Stars Hollow towns. Stars Hollow is the little town that is Gilmore Girls is set in, and my wife, I kid you not, my wife rewatches Gilmore Girls every single year, the whole series.
Wow, the whole series. Okay.
Year. I think she's watched it probably 20 times. But it's like a quaint little town. So this quaint little town north of us has this sign that has this monument is here, this church is here, but at the top of it, that sign, it says welcome to the Port Perry Historical District, right?
Gotcha.
So that
do you know where Unionville, Ontario is?
I do.
That's where the first season was filmed.
Interesting. I did not know that. My wife probably knows
Ontario. Yeah. And then it was later filmed in the studio in Warner Brothers, but that's where it was originally shot, was in Unionville, Ontario. Little fun fact for you.
Interesting. I did not know that. But yeah, like it's a historical district sign, so it's a Wayspot because it has that welcome to the historical district. So there are certain exceptions to this. Like if the sign looks neat or has some sort of unique design, then yeah, you could probably get it through. It's the same with benches, right? If it's unique, then sure. But general rule of thumb, probably not. All right. I think that's good. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Let's take a break. And I'm going to go check on the score of the hockey game. We're going to play some dad jokes and come back on the other side with Wayspot of the Week and Call of the Week.
This is Woodwose, Sylph Scientist. You're listening to the Wayspotters podcast.
This is A is for Andis, Florida's most hated Wayfarer. You're listening to the Wayspotters podcast.
This is Genji, and we are listening to the Wayspotters podcast show.
Season 5 of Dad Jokes. You guys keep encouraging him. This is why we can't have nice things.
I gave away all my dead batteries. Free of charge. I used to be a tap dancer. Until I fell in the sink. I told my doctor I was addicted to brake fluid. She said, you can stop at any time. I opened a bakery that only sells buns. You might say, I'm on a roll. I used to collect candy canes. They are all in mint condition. I started a business selling invisible art. It's going great. I just can't show you my profits. I'm writing a book about reverse psychology. Please, please, please don't buy it.
And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the dad jokes this week. We're going to jump into Wayspot of the Week.
This is Sarah Amanda, and here are some Wayspotters approved points of interest.
All right. Both Wayspots of the Week and Call of the Week came from our Patreon exclusive Discord. If you would like to join and have the potential to have your Wayspots featured on the show, we could have information on how to do that at the end of the show. And not to put the cart before the horse, but Solstice swept all 3 this week. Both Wayspots of the Week and Call of the Week are from friend of the show, Darker Solstice. So thank you to them for posting all of these great things in the Discord. Wayspot of the Week number 1 is Ford Tailgate Art Bench, a unique piece of upcycled plastic art featuring a repurposed Ford truck tailgate integrated into a handcrafted wooden bench. And Tampa Discord. It's fantastic. This is and it's like an old school Ford pickup truck too.
Yeah.
And the back of the bench is the back tailgate of the pickup truck. And the rest of the bench is, like I said, handcrafted out of wood, and it looks fantastic. I said to Darker Solstice, I'm like, the only thing that would have made this better is if the bottom part of the bench, you had to like take down the thing to sit on it. Yeah, I think that would have been fantastic. That would have been the icing on the super cake. Cool. Yeah. But I thought this was super, super cool.
All right. So Wayspot of the Week, were you done? Yep. All right. So let's go to Wayspot of the Week number 2.
Here is a beautiful example of a Wayspot of the Week, which may or may not be a 2-story mural.
So Wayspot of the Week number 2. This is really cool. Again, thanks to Darker Solstice. So what you're seeing on the screen right now, it's called Mural at the Icon, a large, colorful 10-story mural, hand-painted mural commissioned by a local artist in 2018. If you look closely enough, you could even see her name in the art. This is cool, Chris. Like, we love a big 2-story mural, and Montreal just scored. I don't know if you're on a lag, but yes, 2-1. Yeah, sorry, didn't want to spoil it for you, but you can watch the game and watch the goal while I do this waste spot of the week. So you know how we love a 2-story mural. So the building name is Icon, and it's Icon Apartment Living. So it's something that probably wouldn't have been eligible, but this is cool. So it's like a 9-story flower, and on the 10th story is the name of the apartment building. And on the flower, there's like little bugs, and there's butterflies that just kind of flap off the building. And then there's a woman's face. You can see an eyeball in her hair. And I don't see the name in there. This is something I'd probably stare at, and I'm probably going to look at it. There's a pair of googly eyes on there. This is really cool. This is a really good way to get something in a cell that probably was open with nothing else in there because it's residential. I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And we love to see things painted on the side of buildings or put on the side of buildings that, in, like you said, in an area that is probably pretty devoid of waste spots because it's a residential area. So this is fantastic. I love this kind of stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, Darker Solstice.
And finally, let's jump into Coal of the Week. I've been working on the Wayfarer all the live long day. I've been working on the Wayfarer just to pass the... Uh-oh. Oh no. Hey Jamal, I found some coal. Coal of the Week again, thank you to Dark Solstice, is Woodside General Baptist Church Little Free Library. And like all things that we talk about on the Coal of the Week, I'll get there. It's a little free library next to Woodside General Baptist Church. And this is, by all accounts, something that is extremely eligible. It's on church property. It's a little free library. It's fantastic. It looks cool. It's a standard little free library, kind of built in the shape of a little tiny house. It's got a roof and a door, and it says take a book or leave a book, or take a book, share a book. The problem with this is, and Darker Solstice said, this is a little bit more than what's a few meters between friends. This is like 15 meters away from where it actually is.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And my intrepid listeners are probably asking, but Chris, why would they do that? Because it's right beside the church sign, and the church sign is already a waste spot. So they tried to pin this in an open cell.
In an open cell. I mean, you can clearly see the little free library in the picture, and it's on the far right side of the screen, and where they put the pin is on the far left side of the screen. So it's like, don't give me this GPS drift, because you're able to zoom in. This is just, you're trying to game the system.
Yep. Yeah.
Flat out.
And 100%. That's exactly what they're doing. Right. And I'm actually going to pull it up. I know I'm not. But like, if you're looking at this on satellite and you bring up the drift and stuff, and people are just like, oh, sometimes I don't know where to pin this. Like there is a very, very prominent driveway in between where this person pinned this and where the little free library actually is. So
yes,
this is for me, and it might not be for everybody. This is abuse.
Yes, it is. Clearly,
like
somebody made a choice.
Yes, this was an actual choice that they've made. So don't do this.
Yep.
We talked about this at length a couple shows ago. Right. What's a few meters between friends, and pinning sports fields and stuff.
This is not what it means.
This is not what we're talking about. This is not.
This ain't it, boss.
This ain't it, boss. All right, you got anything else?
I need you to go watch some hockey, so I'm done. I'm not going to say another word.
I am going to go watch some hockey. Let me sign us off. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Wayspotters. We really appreciate it. A big thank you goes out to our executive producer, Kate the Cons, our show historian, Maddie G, and to all of our Patreons. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so, so much. We would also like to thank our gym leaders, Maddie G, SB and Willow, KJ Demand, Herbert, Brandy, PJ, Fisher, and James, and our other executive producers on the network for Good Morning Johto, Monkey Bread, for Lured Up Xander, and Special Conditions, Tish Smith. A special shout out to our very first Elite Four trainer, Ozark Renee, and our Giovanni level supporter, Boris Yeah. Really appreciate all the support that we get from you guys every single week. It bought me this mic, which apparently people love. I've had people ask me when my ASMR videos are coming out, so we'll talk about that. I actually made a joke, not to get too off topic again, but I made a joke that maybe I'm just gonna start ripping Pokemon packs open. But because we're Wayspotters, I'm not gonna actually show anybody the cards. I'm just gonna rip the packs open. Just show everybody the backs and get really excited. If you enjoyed this episode of Wayspotters, there's a few ways that you can show us. Follow us on all of our socials. We are on Twitter at Wayspotters, also on Instagram at Wayspotters Podcast, and on TikTok at I Make Wayspots. We are incredibly responsive and love interacting with our followers. Let us know what you thought about today's episode. You can also visit our website, www.wayspotters.com. From there, you can get links to everywhere you can download the show. You can also send us a message directly from the website. Or email us, wayspotters@pokemonprofessor.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. For those of you who still need to be sure to check us out, youtube.com/@wayspotters podcast. I'm pretty sure we're pretty close. I can't look it up right now. We're pretty close to 300 subscribers now. So if you haven't, please go subscribe. It would help the channel out immensely. Yeah, we are at 283 subscribers. We're almost at 300. And I've lost my notes. What did I do with them? Oh, I found them. Leave us a voicemail on our hotline, 704-426-3710, or tweet us a voice message. You never know, your voicemail may appear on an upcoming episode of the show. Finally, if you are not a member of the Pokemon Professor Network Patreon, you can join for as little as $1 US a month. All you need to do is go to patreon.com/PokemonProfessor. You will have access to the Discord for the entire family of shows across the Pokemon Professor Network, including Wayspotters, Special Conditions, Gotta Watch 'Em All, Purified Podcast, Good Morning Johto, Sleep It Off, After Darkrai, and Lured Up. It is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. Jamal and I are active in the Discord quite a bit, so come and hang out. We would love to have you. And with that, we look forward to you joining us again next week here on Wayspotters. We appreciate all of the support we get each week. We couldn't do this without you. And remember, it's not that far. Get out of your car.